I get constantly asked as a divorce lawyer whether or not people really need to hire their own lawyer or why can't they just handle their divorce themselves. I love this question because it really gives me an opportunity to tell people to watch out and to be very, very careful. So here's why I don't ever recommend that anybody handle their divorce by themselves. Even though I do believe that women can do anything, and if given the right material, I can be an astronaut if need be, I still want you guys seriously to hire an expert to help you with your expert problem. So let's say that you break your arm. You're not going to perform surgery on yourself. So when you have hundreds of thousands of dollars at stake, maybe even millions in your divorce, you really want to be able to hire a professional to protect that. So what do I mean by that? There's a couple of things to consider when you have the very normal and rational idea in your head that maybe you could handle your divorce yourself. Number one, family law is counterintuitive. What sounds like a really great idea for settlement, if you ran it by a professional, could tell you 10 different reasons why that's a terrible idea. So you need somebody who sees this day in and day out to let you know what works and what doesn't work. Number two, when I'm an attorney and I represent a certain client and there's an opposing party who represents themselves, I have full reign to try to get as great of a deal for my client as I can because the other side doesn't know better. So if your spouse is represented, you should never ever represent yourself because 9 times out of 10, the deals being presented to you are different and more favorable to your ex than the deals that are going to be presented to you if you were to have an attorney. And the third reason is if you are going to put hundreds of thousands of dollars at risk through creating a legal contract that may or may not be enforceable depending on how good you are at contract drafting. If you're going to put at risk hundreds of thousands of dollars, your 401k, your house, your pension, your RSU, restricted stock units, your business interests, wouldn't it make sense for you to spend less than 1% of the overall estate on making sure you're securing that estate? Last time I checked, if you're spending like 0.00004% of the overall value of your estate, that's a pretty good financial deal. On the other side, if you make a drafting mistake and that's a $300,000 error that you, didn't do correctly, and you're putting that at risk, you've just really made a huge mistake that's avoidable for a fraction of the cost. I get it. I support people pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, but I'm not a surgeon and I'm not a physical therapist. I can't perform surgery on myself if my arm is broken, and you shouldn't perform your own divorce if you're not a divorce attorney. Doesn't mean you have to hire the most expensive lawyer, but you do have to hire somebody who has practiced in this field if you want to get a good deal. I hope that helps.